Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Vintage Story, Unearthed, for 120. Sometimes if you've slept recently, like right now I just did 4:42 a.m., I can't sleep. It says I'm not tired enough to sleep at the moment. If you wait a few minutes, often that will then reset and you can then go back to bed if you need to. I hopped out of bed because I try to get up around like 4, maybe 5 a.m., because that seems to be when the light is coming out most of the time right now, so that I have the most of the day that I can work with and still get that sleep in that I need. So I had a look at some of my crops, and some of them look like they're struggling because the nutrient levels are not that high. So I decided I would take some bone meal and try and up that. And if you notice, there's a little bit of N and a lot of P that can be had from bone meal. Not everything is going to be using specifically P, but you know, every little bit of N that I can put in there is going to help. So if I look at this crop, let's say cabbage, and at the very top it says growth speed 66%, it's an N reliant crop, and I only have 25% left in the soil. So it's slowly eating all of that up, and anything that I can add on there is going to help that out for any N. Now in this case, that would be very small amounts. I could still do that, and it will help a tiny bit, but not necessarily. So if I have any crops that use P, here we go. Parsnips, for example, growth speed is 98%, though you can see that the P is at 43% what's left in the soil. So if I click on here, I can then increase that, and it will start increasing it over time. It's a slow release fertilizer is what it says on there, and that's going to increase the growth speed of these considerably, maybe even the output. Oh, looks like my onions are also P reliant, which is great, so I'm going to want to do that. Most of the rest of the crops I have are going to be K or N reliant, so it's not really going to be the best, but in this case I'm desperate for any kind of flax, but I don't have a way of increasing K. Bone meal doesn't add much. There are multiple other types of fertilizers you can add and create that can also increase different nutrient levels, but this is just an example of one of the easiest ones you can come by. And yes, if you wanted to, you can add multiples to each one of these ones so that it can increase even more the amount that's in there, and just make sure that they've got all the nutrients that they need. That's actually a very small example of how you could feasibly upgrade your soil. There are other ways that you can do so too. Oh, looks like the strong tannin has finished, and you can see it is an even darker brown than the other stuff was. I don't have anything in there. Usually if it's empty, then there's nothing in there, but I usually check just in case something hasn't been rendered properly. But if something has finished, it usually will have some kind of render in there. In this case, it doesn't. That's interesting. But I know that like when leather is finished, it will show up in there. Oh no, wait, that's not finished because I never actually finished setting this up to soak. I need to get some lime water going. Oh gosh. So I'm going to take these out. Those are from the bear. I totally forgot about that. And I'm going to grab my bucket, fill this up, and make some more lime water. I'm going to make a full barrel's worth in this case. And I do have a bit of water right here, so I don't need to worry too much about it. And I can just hold Alt, like I said before, just bucket it in. And there we go. Because I reached 50 liters, it equated to the lime requirement. And I now have all the lime water that I need. Taking from here, let's fill it up until this says it's good. Oop, that's too much. There we go. 20 liters should do it. I can pour the rest in here and use that for any future that I have and seal it. There we go. And some of you might be thinking, well, why aren't you making some of those hides that you want? I'm saving the really big ones specifically for making larger, the end game backpacks. I would like to have some of the really big ones. In this case, we've got some huge rawhides. Because if you think ahead on this one, the sturdy leather can only be made from large and huge hides, which aren't quite as common. If I do start getting a lot more of them, then I'll take that into consideration, probably start using them for leather as well. Not to mention it requires 10 just to make one of those sturdy backpacks. Alright, with a pot of food, I think it's time I go and get myself a little bit of firewood so that I can make myself some improvised body armor And then maybe I start doing a little bit of an explore in some of these underground caves and see if I can find some more useful materials. So I have 5 oak logs left, and that's after me going out and chopping a few more in the past. But there is another way to make ladders, and I currently only have 3 at the moment, but there's another way to make ladders that will potentially help you out. To start with, I'm going to make a bunch of rope. There we go, 10 pieces. I'm going to put it on either side here and some sticks down the middle, and that will make me rope ladders, which are phenomenal. They're reusable. Alright, enough prep. Let's actually go. I've got an idea of where I can go. It's not right there, no. It's going to be over here. Now, I have a couple entrances. There's one over there. There's one over here. I haven't checked out if this actually goes anywhere. I don't think it does. I think it's just the raccoon down there. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm just going to leave the raccoon alone. We're going to go down this other entrance over on this side then, because I was digging some peat, and I saw that there are multiple entrances into this area, so I figured I could give it a go and see what's down below. And of course I'm marking a cave entrance on my map just so that I know where the entrance is, should I have a problem and need to come back up. I don't have any markers with me, so what I might do is take some chalk, see if I can mark here on this. Oh, it's not markable on the soil, so I'm going to have to do this instead. I'm going to mark a bunch of X's along here that it's a dead end or been explored. So I now know. Heck, I'll even put some on there if I see that in the future. And I've got a few more stones, and I can always just break some of any of these that I have laying around. That could be useful, and I now have plenty more. And you notice that I did use up some of those stones as I was making those marks on there. If you want to have something really useful, you could potentially be, it's this way to get out, and then you just kind of mark things like that so that you know which way to go. And you can see now that there is easy way of finding ways out of this area. I do see quartz up there, but none of it actually has anything valuable in it yet. I've got a lot of split areas, so I'm going to start adding in some of those markers so that I know which way to go to get out of here. Another way of finding your way around is to start using torches. I find that if I've got multiple areas that I could potentially go, just putting one light source in the area that you came from can help to find your way in the dark if you don't have any kind of light source on you or something like that. Or even if you do, you'll see that that's the way out because that's where I had lights. And as you backtrack on areas that ended up being dead ends, you just pick up your torches on the way back. Oh, off to a good start. I'm seeing a rusty gear down here, so that's always good. Oh, that's not though. Hello. Oh, things just got dark. I hate having to put my light source down, but still, it makes sense. Ow. He's a deep drifter, and he does a damage tier of 1. Oh, shoot. Which, I don't think my shield protects against that. It does help a little bit, but I'm still taking damage because he's doing more damage in the end. So let's see if I can project a little bit of light on a wall up here, and maybe I can find this Bowtorn that's trying to take me out. I already see a bunch of interesting things down there. Doggone it. Oh, gosh. Okay, rift activity is currently high, I think. Yes, it is. And that means these guys are going to be coming around out of the woodwork quite regularly. Gosh. But that also means more loot to be had. The tougher the enemy, the better the chance of better loot. Not always, though. It's not guaranteed. It's still a roll of the dice on what you might get. Ooh, in this case, I got some money. I will gladly take the money. And I'll pick this up, too. Where'd that Bowtorn go that I saw? Oh, that's interesting. That's a very good sign. Actually, that's a very bad placement for this. Let's put that there. And I can pick this up. I don't know where the Bowtorn went. But I am going to use some of these ladders here. Just sneak, right-click, and you'll start lowering a ladder. Right-click, and you can start picking it up. It's fantastic. It works great. And in fact, I'd like to keep it so that other mobs can't get through there very easily. Where is it? Oh gosh. I don't know how I ended up surviving that fall, but that was not good. I just fell all the way down here. Stop throwing your junk at me. I don't want it. Okay, I have to be careful. There's water here. I could douse the entire stack of torches. Let's put some lights around just so that I can see things around me. This place is amazing. This is a really cool ruin, I gotta tell you. Except for these guys. These guys showing up definitely puts a damper on things. Okay, I just realized the thing that I did forget. Healing poultice. I was not expecting to run into so much of a problem. We've got a cracked ore vessel. I could get some good ore out of this. Like lead. Okay, I'll take it. Uh-oh, we got more coming in. Okay, sometimes just keeping them at bay is going to help me out here. Oh, shoot. Okay, this works. This works. Also, you notice that my my cogwheel is spinning rather quickly. Magnetite. Wow, that's actually chunks of iron. Ore vessels, ore vessels, ore vessels. Wow, this place is huge. Oh gosh, and I'm in trouble. Back off. I don't know that I'm gonna survive this. I need to get out of there. This is not good. Okay, that one's dead. Where'd the other one go? The fact that they keep falling through the roof is not doing well for me. I'm down to very low health. I might end up dying down here. Oh gosh! Yes, that is a distinct possibility. Oh, was not expecting that to land on my face. Oh, hold still, you. Gotcha. Whew. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, the terrors of the loot. I think I should start with these ore vessels and just see what we get. Looks like some copper. Oh gosh. Ooh. The silent dudes really is uncomfortable. The fact that they just sneak up behind me so well. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh gosh, I just had a bow torn show up. Okay, let's see if I can get him out, take care of him without him doing anything. He took damage from the fall, thank goodness. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah, this place has just turned into my own murder pit at this point. Oh gosh, I need to just get out of here as soon as possible. Oh gosh, but I need to pick up my spears before I do so. Not spider webs. Not spider webs. Where's the way out? There was a ladder. Okay. I think I'll leave the torches here. I can come back for this stuff. As soon as I end up cutting... Oh gosh, I hear it. I'm gonna end up dying on the way out, aren't I? There it is. Oh, I hit it. Got it. Okay. Time to get up and out of here. There's plenty of stuff that I can come back for. For now, it's just scary as heck. And I have no way of surviving this at the moment. I need to go heal up and drop some stuff off. Oh gosh. Ah, here I am just trying to escape and they're still showing up. I need to go. It's nighttime. And it's probably high rift activity as well, so I need to just go sleep. That would explain it. That rift there is just spawning guys up above, and they're dropping in on my face. Oh boy. So I think it's high time that I made myself some healing poultice and fix things. Let's see. Does this have any healing reduction? That does. 10%. Let's take that off for a moment while I make myself a bit healthier. Oh, so much better. Definitely need to bring some of this with me next time. So, I'm a little bit injured right now. I happen to be attacked by a bear. Actually, that's not entirely true. I provoked the bear because it was trying to attack my fox pup that's in the garden. Needless to say, it started drowning because it got trapped underneath the farm a bit, and I started trying to attack it. It chased me all the way back to my house. I wasn't recording at that moment. It just kind of happened faster than I thought it would. As you can see, I've got less than 1 health. But hey, at least I got some of the food I was looking for. I'm going to leave those bones there for now. I had thrown spears in hopes of trying to hit it, but I think I missed some. There's the other spear. Alright, well, I hit it with one of the spears. It took a lot of damage from drowning, but apparently not enough. And as you can see, I'm not really wearing much for armor. I think I'm gonna heal myself a bunch so the screen stops spinning and looking a bit desaturated. But that was a lot more painful than I had anticipated. I'm gonna leave the rest of that. I'm gonna keep a little bit here. Put that on. All I had on was my hat. Not much protection. And my shield. The shield was blocking some of the damage, but it was still, most of that damage was getting through. Oof. Oh, a bit more armor would be nice. A bit better weapons would be nice. I think I really need to focus on metalworking. But I also need to consider that I need to have things better prepared. For example, my fox over there is not safe from bears. And maybe I need to make that somewhat of a priority at some point here. Okay, well, I've got that cooking. There's some things that I might change about my strategy, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna save this for endgame and save that for endgame, and I've got all this stuff in here that I'm worried about endgamey stuff. You know, forget that. I need to worry about the here and now, and I need pelts. I think I can use these once they've been turned into oiled hides, or more specifically, once they turn into pelts. I can use them for more of the armor that I was looking for, as well as backpacks. So either one would be a welcome addition, even if it's just one extra little storage slot. It's just something that needs to happen. I feel like a huge hide might be a bit overkill, but it does seem like, yeah, it is, because even a large pelt works. Even one medium pelt works. Yeah, I feel like I need to kill something a bit more medium-sized for me to have that avoided. Let's see how big these things are. When I put them down on the ground, oh my gosh. That's huge. I mean, that's really big. I might process these into leather. I think that's probably the best way to go for now. So that is the route I'm taking. There we go. 3 raw hides from that giant grizzly bear. Those brown ones, though, oh, they're so much bigger than the others. Okay, so here we go. I've got 3 different sizes, 3 different quantities, and I have strong tannin. Once I'm done with the strong tannin, which will take a half a month, or 4.5 days, if I'm not mistaken. If I put this in here, it'll tell me, yeah, 4.5 days. Then it'll turn into leather. So I'm just 1 step away from getting leather. And each of these will turn into different quantities of leather. So I think what I need to do is just start organizing this by doing my usual method of adding a bit at a time until I find what I need. There we go. That one's ready. And that one is ready as also. And this one is also ready. So there we go. I have a little bit left over. I don't think I actually have any weak tannin ready. I think I only have strong tannin. Oh, all my preparations, and they weren't enough. Oh, my last 5 oak logs. You know what? It's for a worthy cause. I need as much tannin as I can get, as much leather as I can get. So we'll get that processing. I've got some weak tannin being made so that I can process these huge scraped hides into something better. And maybe even the next set that I've got here. There's 3 of them in there, and I know of even more bears in the nearby area. So, boy, large hides aren't going to be a problem, I don't think. I am fairly confident I am not getting a windmill up and running this year. So I am thinking I'm going to be using this to upgrade one of my bags right now. And that is going to be in the form of one of these cloth sacks that I showed previously. There we go. A Linnen Sack. Yes. Okay, so that should give me 5 storage slots. This will give me, these are 3 each. Yep, I think this is what's going to happen. So let's move these over, and if you hover over top of each of these, it'll tell you what is in each of these ones from your inventory. This one you can see is empty. So if I put that here, then I can take that Linnen Sack, put it in this place, and I now have 2 more slots than I did before. All just because I used a bit of the flax fibers and cloth that I've been saving up. Now on top of that, I can take this old hand basket, and I believe, yep, I can recycle it for a bit of cattails to get it back. So this is what happened. The bear apparently had come towards this fox, and in trying to eat it, ended up falling into the water here. Then went under the water, got stuck, and started drowning. Eventually, though, it did pop out of this area, and well, that's when everything just kind of went poorly. So while I've found plenty of interesting things in some of these caves, I think it's time that I actually start looking for different ores and such, see what I can come up with. I've got a prospecting pick, and I think I'm going to start working with that. It's a long, involved process, and a lot of people can get really frustrated with this. All I can say to that is, try to make the best of it. If you don't really like or enjoy what's going on with it, take a break from it. I mean, it can be a bit challenging if you don't really understand it at first, or grasp it, or even just have the patience for it. Just know it is a long process to try and find some of the things that you might be looking for. So just know that first and foremost, the prospecting pick has 2 modes. If you press the F key, you will see this pop up, and you've got your node search radius, which it says short range, exact search. This will tell you exactly any kind of ores that are detected within 6 blocks by default. You can change that in the settings when you set up your world, or if you change it with commands. Any ore types that are within 6 blocks of where you broke the stone. If you use density search mode, then you're going to need to break more than 1 stone, and it triangulates the possibilities of things in the area and the likelihood that they're going to be there. It's not going to be exact. It's chance-based if you see there. And it is long range. But if you use this, you can then triangulate things further. I'm actually going to choose that, go on the map, and it will keep things on its own prospecting map layer. So if I turn these off, everything's off. If I have stuff that is shown up for prospecting, it will show up with the little tabs. I will start doing some prospecting. I'll show you how that's done, and we'll proceed with trying to find some tin and copper, maybe even some iron, who knows. One of the easiest ways that you can start with prospecting is to just look for exposed rock. Alternately, you can always dig down with a shovel or something like that. But just know that usually where you start is where everything is going to start trying to detect things. So with mine being set on the density search mode long range, I am going to start breaking this. It does take longer, and anything that you break with this will be destroyed. For instance, if I were to use it with grass or this or anything like that, it will just delete those items. So be cautious with what you break with it. It's not an alternate mining pick unless you're just using it to clear the path. But now I need to go at least 3 blocks away from where this is, and I cannot mine that 3rd block. It would have to be the 4th block. It doesn't have to be horizontal, it can be vertical, anything like that, but it has to be at least that many. And it has to be no farther away than 16 blocks. But I can go vertical in this case as well. You can see here it says 2 more samples, now 1 more sample. Now if I just go up 3 blocks, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then I start mining on the 4th block, I can get another reading. And there we go. Found 1 trace of ore in this area. There's not a lot here. Pentlandite, minuscule amounts of copper, graphite, and sulfur. Now this is not the best results, unless of course you're looking for pentlandite, but it does mean that there is a possibility for copper to be in the area. Graphite and sulfur as well. If I keep searching in different areas, I may find varying amounts that would increase or decrease one of those items or others. But as I've shown in the past with other videos, I even have a bit by bit on this. If you want to check out the prospecting one, it's still fairly accurate to this day. But I do try to go probably the length of one of the mini maps before I start doing another mining test. Oh, but as luck would have it, I just found some surface copper. So this is already a big benefit. Now, as I am out looking for ores, I am not going to pass this up. I will grab... Oh no, there's a bunch of quartz. This may have overridden some of the copper that's here, and I cannot mine that, and I cannot recover it back. But that doesn't mean that there isn't some copper here to be had, nonetheless. So I'm going to mine up what I can from this, and then we'll move on and continue looking for more of the prospecting pick results. Okay, so there isn't very much here. Most likely it was all, all on that side was overridden by the quartz deposit. But what I am going to show you is the secondary option that you can use with your prospecting pick. So again, by hitting F, let's switch to short range. And now anytime that I break a block, and in this case I don't have many blocks to break, so let's just choose this one since it's here, out of the way, and it'll tell me anything within 6 blocks exactly as it is, for any kind of ores at least. So we've got trace amounts of copper, large amounts of quartz, and there's nothing in that quartz. So there's possibility that I might find one or more pieces of copper still. Oh hey, there we go, it's there, and I can mine this up with my pick. Just be sure that you don't use your prospecting pick or it will delete the block. Oh, it looks like there's a bit of a slope here, and that's how I ended up missing some of this. The stone facing actually started sloping downwards a bit. Alright, not too bad. So now let's have another poke at this and see if it still says that there are trace amounts nearby. Just keep in mind that it said trace amounts before. Yeah, it says found the following ore nodes. Quartz, huge amounts. And I'm pretty sure that any copper would be within 6 blocks here for this. So, trace amounts in this case, I found 5 blocks that I could still break. So that's quite an impressive find. But now, sadly, I have to go upstairs and start looking, and I know that there's a wolf very nearby. Okay, so you can see I'm about a half a screen distance away. Oh, would you look at that? I found some copper just sticking up out of the ground. Lovely. There is a wolf very nearby, so I may end up either dying or bolting, depending upon how that goes. But for now, I'm just going to set that down, change my mode to density mode search a bit different. Long range at least, and then I'm going to start doing some searches a little bit here, a little bit there. So I went a little further over that way, and now I can go a little bit further over this way, and this should give me the 3 samples I need. And it looks like I've got coal, iron, copper, and sulfur, but all in minuscule amounts. So I do like the idea that I'm moving closer to those things at least. Or at least that they haven't dropped off and I've got some more really cool items that I could potentially pick up. It doesn't hurt that I also have copper. Alright, so let's say that you don't have rock faces that stick up out of the ground. Instead, it's mostly flatland. That works too. I just dig straight down. I press G, and then I use a mining pick to start mining a few blocks away so that I can get some more samples. So that would be 3rd block. Now if I mine this one, I'll get my 2nd sample, and then same thing here. If I mine the 4th block away, I'll get my 3rd sample, and there we go. I now have very poor pentlandite, which has gotten worse as I've gone further east. The coal has actually started giving me a percentage, or well, not a percentage, an increase. It's no longer minuscule. Same thing with the iron and sulfur. So I am actually moving towards those items, and I have long since left the copper. Not that I can really mine the iron, mind you, so I might have to actually, I might have to start changing directions. I was hoping that I'd be able to find something like some tin, but you can see here I've made this little line of a few things. Let's turn off the owned creatures and the waypoints, and you can see now that I've just got this. This shows everything. If I show copper, you'll see that only 2 of these are actually on here, and they're both minuscule amounts. It's my guess that copper probably gets a little bit higher going more western, so I might have to turn around. I don't even have anything with tin on it. I might have to go north or south even. I guess we'll see. Okay, this latest reading is telling me I've got a very poor, but at least it's no longer minuscule amount of native copper. This is kind of better. I mean, I actually have been finding some small copper sites. I came over here, I've started kind of checking things out along the path. I did a quick stop at home just so that I could drop things off, and I'm still exploring. Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, and it seems to have, I don't know if it's run off or not. Okay, that hurt a bit. And it freaked me out quite a lot. Yeah, things you need to worry about. Everything. Alright, I see it laying down there. I don't know that I can actually hit it from here, but I've got a few spears. I'm going to put a lower damaging spear first because this will be my practice throw. Aim a little higher. I hit it. It's not dead. Okay, it was enough to drive it further away, and I can go collect my spears. That works. There goes. Over by some more wolves. Oh boy, this is not exactly what I wanted to do today. Oh no, and I have a medium temporal storm approaching. This is definitely not a good thing. I don't know if that's the same wolf or not. I went around this hill here. There it is. Got it. Okay. I don't think that it's notified the other wolf, so I'll just grab my spoils and run. That sounded like a bear. Time to go. There it is. Yeah, there was a bear after me. Thank goodness it did not actually catch up. I've made it home. I didn't get too much more. I mean, it was just that one wolf, really. But I need to set up for this storm because I'm actually going to shelter down. I am still way too weak to try and take on any of these critters that are going to be spawning in all around me. Even for a medium storm, it's still going to be too much, especially since, yeah, I've got a slightly wooden hat. That's about it. So I also am going to bring something that I can do while I'm currently in my storm shelter. Alright, I think I found the spot that I'm going to shelter. It's not going to be much of a shelter, but it will be one nonetheless. This is going to be consisting of me kind of hunkering down. There we go. Alright, so if I click on this, I can go into it if I want. There. Perfect. Now I just need to build myself a little bit of protection. And there we have it. One storm shelter of sorts. I'm pouring some water in here, and I think I'm going to actually do a bit of digging here. There we go, so that I can place some stuff down, because I am going to need space to place a block. The idea here is I plan on panning while I am waiting for the storm to pass. I've got a bunch of berries on me for food. That should keep me sustained. And hopefully nothing will spawn in this little space that I'm going to be in. And I can also put a torch. I could just hold on to my oil lamp. I was going to place it on the wall, but I realized I don't have any space to place it there because the door is on the inside here. But anyway, I think that'll be alright. I can only do it when there's air above it. Oh. Now I can place my oil lamp up there, and will it work? Nope. Oh, it does work if my oil lamp isn't in that place. Okay, that still works then. Alright. Well, now I can just sieve my time away and hope that the storm passes soon, because it has yet to begin. In the process, I can be useful. I've got like 50... well, including this one, 54 pieces of chalk sand, so we'll see how far I get. And there we go, it's imminent, and I've barely gotten through any of these blocks, but we'll see how it goes. Wish me luck. So the storm's over, but I am not safe. One, my gear is still dropping because I chose a poor location. The other, there are still guys outside, and they're constantly trying to get inside, but regardless, my shelter did work, and I was able to get a lot of materials. I got 8 copper nuggets. I got through about 10, maybe 11 pieces of chalk sand. Actually 12, I think. Nugget of sphalerite. I got a couple gears. I got a new copper spearhead, which is worth an entire ingot. 3 blue clay, 3 flint spearheads, 3 clear quartz, a bunch of chalk stone, and a copper arrowhead. Oh, also plus 2 quartz chunks. So I got a bunch of just good materials. But the problem is I need to get out of here. And you can see there are still dudes just about everywhere. I think there might even be some Boathorns out there. And I'm out in the water, which means I'm kind of a target. Either way, I think I'm just going to have to make a run for it, and we'll see how it goes. So, wish me luck. I am going to hold on to my shield while I run with my light, because I think it's also nighttime. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. And I don't think I'm going to fight anything. I'm just going to try and make a run for it. Here we go. Looks like it's not that bad. Okay, there was just 1 or 2 guys hanging out where I was. Ah, and here we go. I think I'll just kind of hang out in my base and organize a few things now. And with that, I think we'll pause and end it here for this episode. Tune in next time for the continuation of Vintage Story Unearthed for 120.